Hi students, Miss Reynoso here. I'm going to read you a book today called Max Makes a Million by Myra Coleman. It's a little bit long, but hang with me, it's kind of funny. Call me Max. Max the dreamer, Max the poet, Max the dog. My dream is to live in Paris and be a poet. Paris, the city of dreams, the city of lights, the city of love. But do you think it is easy for a dog to pack a small brown suitcase, put on a beret, and hop on a plane? Ha! Plane tickets cost money. Mazuma, shekels, Somalians. I have none, but because no one wants to buy my book, I'm flat broke. Bone dry. But someday, fat families and skinny families around the world will be reading my poems and laughing and crying. I feel it in my bones. I want to say before anything that dreams are very important. I live in New York City, that crazy, quivering, wondering, wild city. A city like an enormous orchestra, a beat-bop city. Everyone playing music that screeches and slides into my ears. Everyone singing a different song. Everyone running a different way, all day, all night. A jumping, jazzy city. Tall people, short people. Plaid people, carrying boxes, carrying chairs. Traffic, towers, a shimmering, stimmering, triple-decker sandwich kind of city. Wow, New York, bow, wow, wow. I live with Ida and Morris Stravinsky in the spacious Stravinsky apartment. Morris has a ladies' shoe store, Stravinsky Shoes. Every day he goes down to his store and shows women different shoes, pumps, sandals, slippers, mules. Morris and his assistant Laura are designing shoes for the Queen of Sheba, who must be a very fussy woman because every time a customer makes Morris crazy, he says, "Who do you think you are, the Queen of Sheba?" Meanwhile, across town, Ida is taking tango lessons with Maurice Chagall. He has a big black shiny pompadour on his head and a tiny, shiny, pointy shoes on his feet. Morris and Ida don't have any children, but they have me, Max. And they start to cry every time I bring up the subject of moving to Paris. They will have to face the facts. There is an old Chinese proverb that says parents must give their children two things, roots and wings. I have the roots, now I want the wings. Every morning I walk downtown to my studio. I pass the Gizmo Gallery. I pass the Venus Beauty Salon and dance school. I daydream and stroll and scribble in my notebook. And every day I pause on the corner of Salami and Pastrami streets and tape a poem on the wall. People can stop and read my poems and then go on their merry way. I reach my studio, the place I write. I share my studio with Bruno, my best friend. Bruno is an artist. He paints invisible paintings. I met Bruno in the garden of the Museum of Incredibly Modern Art. He was holding a very strange umbrella. Maybe he thinks the rain is invisible. Some people say that Bruno is crazy, but Bruno is no crybaby. He just keeps working on the idea in his head. If I didn't mention before, I should mention now. This book is about dreamers, wishful thinkers, dreamy blinkers, crazy nuts. I go to my desk. A writer must write. I close my eyes, say the first three things I see, and write a poem. Mrs. Hugenschmidt, fish. Mr. Hugenschmidt, saxophone, nose, glasses. It was on a sunny summer day that I met Mrs. Hugenschmidt wearing a fish on her head. Mr. Hugenschmidt was walking on his hands, carrying an umbrella. Dizzy fella. He meant to blow the saxophone, but man, he blew his nose instead and his glasses flew off his head onto the bed. The doorbell rang. It was Baby Henry, who owns Baby Henry's candy shop. Baby Henry travels to Turkey for Turkish taffy and to Cairo for caramel camels. Now, he was having a candy dilemma. I need your advice, he said. Try these lemon drops from Nice. Are they nice? Nice, I said. Twice nice, said Bruno. Good, that is nice, said Baby Henry. I closed my eyes while the candy lay on my tongue. Lemon groves, full moon, Sylvia's yellow dress. I want to say that wonderful ideas can come from anywhere. Sometimes you make a mistake or break something or lose a hat, and the next thing you know, you get a great idea. My idea was to eat. Bruno and I left the studio. Walking to lunch, we passed the door of the mysterious twins, Otto and Otto. Tacked onto the Quattro Otto door is a note that toots its tutorial rudeness and which I reproduce in tutu. Pardon me means excuse me means move away, go away means scram, and scram means beat it. Bruno and Marlene are in love. Did I mention that when Bruno met Marlene, he stopped painting invisible paintings for 1 week and painted only Marlene? We reach the Domino luncheonette. Marlene is waiting. Marlene is a scientist. She is studying gravity, which is why we are stuck to the ground and not flying all over in all directions. Our waiter's name is Marcello. He is an architect, but no one will live in his houses. He only wants to build houses that are upside down. Marlene is worried that in a house like that, her skirt would fall over her face and she would be embarrassed. Wear pants, Marlene, says Bruno. Walking back to the studio, we pass Princess Lenina and her faithful horse Rex. We pass Mr. Van Teegham. He's a musician. He plays his drumsticks on the garbage cans. Iron posts, metal doors, and building walls. We watch as he disappears down the street, hammering and bangering his zigzag city song. Ha! I am back in my chair, writing up a storm when what should ring but the phone? Ha! It's Leon Kapinski, my agent. Do you know what an agent does? He smokes a cigar, takes your writing, tries to sell it, never does, and gets 15%. That's what an agent does. Leon, what is it, I ask. It happened, Max. I did it. I sold your book for $1 million. They love it, Max. You're going to dance on the roofs of the city you're dying to go to. Lucky fellow, Max, you've got it made. I got off the phone, the black old phone. Someone was going to print my book. Someone was going to sell my book. Someone was going to buy my book. I couldn't talk. I couldn't think. I couldn't breathe. The world was a fuzzy kind of place. The world was okay. Not just okay, but A-okay. Bruno and I danced around. Then I rushed uptown to tell Morris and Ida. They were having a party that night, a musical, a soiree. I was going to recite my poems when I came home. Ida was frantic. Quick, Max, start making trays of canapes. Start mixing martinis. There's something I have to tell you, Ida. Later, Max, later. We have guests coming. I have to get dressed. I filled platters with pomegranates and figs, bowls of olives and baskets of tangerines. My feet were rubbery. My head was hot. This was too much for a dog to bear. In walked Ivan Kazalinski, the arch-rival of Leon Kapinski. Aw, Max, sneered Ivan. Still writing those stupid little poems that no one likes? Bring me a drink, why don't you? I was ready to rip the pointy beard right off his face. I was ready to give his ugly pants a bite so big he would be wearing shorts. But instead, I looked at him in the eye and said, "Ha!" And I secretly vowed that Ivan Kozlinski would get his terrible just desserts. The party was a blur of perfume, silk dresses, and laughing voices. Ida said, "My dear friends, would you kindly take your seats? We are ready." It was mad. First cousin Etta swung on a trapeze with her husband little Soko. Then Rupert Mondasco played the bagpipes so hard they exploded, sending Helena Rubinstein's false eyelashes flying off her face. Bruno showed his paintings and Princess Lanina bought them all. "I love to see all the invisible stuff," the princess explained. Finally, Marlene got up to explain gravity. "You see," she said, tossing 3 lemon pies in the air, "what goes up must come down." And we all watched as the 3 lemon pies plopped, flopped, and dropped onto Ivan Kozlinski's hairy, horrified head. Ha, 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 ha. It was my turn. I shivered with fear and excitement and began to read. I'm gaga for Saga of Ali Baba and his 40 robas. I'm crazy to be lazy with Sinbad and on his 7 seas. I want to dance the Kazatski until I plotski and sing like a Boyd. On toity-toyed and toyed. Call me Max, the lucky dog, with my dream shoes on. My life began when I was born. Hold the phone, I'll eat some corn. Call me Max, the lucky dog, with dream shoes on my feet. The world keeps turning. My shoes are yearning to tap dance down a lucky street. The room was silent. Then they all started to applaud. Max, they cried, you are a wonder dog. You are the funniest. You are the greatest. Dearest people, how can I thank you? This is the day I have been waiting for all my life. I am off. Off to Paris to follow my dreams. Be brave, Ida and Morris. We will meet again in the starry-eyed city. You know, I have always lived by my dreams, and now they have come true. Roots and wings, roots and wings. I've got to go, Daddy-o. So long, farewell, goodbye. Ha! The end. And the book also says, Meyer Kalman works and is allergic to dogs in New York City. She does not have any children named Max. Oh, that's too bad. All right, goodbye from Miss Reynoso.